knowing your character a little bit already, it's going to take time.
If you actually cared about my feelings or whether or not I was hurt, you wouldn't come and say hello to my friends and then purposely ignore me. That was high school.
Oh my God, the dinner party was always going to be chaotic, and it didn't disappoint. Between Shauna and Brad trying to sort of over exaggerate their connection and making everyone jealous, Ella coming out as trans, and then Portia, poor thing. But anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. Definitely subscribe. You're still trying to get to 1,000, and leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight UK, Season 8, Episode 7. Here come the drama. Oh my God. So everybody's back from their honeymoon and they're moving in. Some couples are happy, some couples are awkward, some couples are mad. We really didn't get to see Jay move in with Luke, but we saw them on their way to the dinner party and they were ecstatic. They seem to be getting along very well. They seem to really like one another, so that's good for them. Laura and Arthur, I don't remember seeing them as well. We didn't see their move in. So, but they seem to be in a good place the last time we saw them. We have Ross and Thomas, one of my other favorites. They are still awkward. Oh my God, it's terrible. The problem is they're both appear to be introverts. That's the impression that I'm getting. And they're expecting the other person to pull them out. And the person they're expecting to pull them out is not going to pull them out because they themselves are introvert. I don't think Thomas would have coped with someone who's very outspoken and very bubbly and all. But I wish Ross would try. She is trying, but I think Thomas is so broken because of his past relationship. It's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of input from the experts. Yes, they are going to share the same bed. They do go to the dinner party together, but they're still very awkward because there's this massive space in between the two of them in the car, and it's just like, oh my God. You have Nathan and Ella. Ella apologizes and decides to be the bigger person. And it's like, you're not the bigger person. You were the one who was responsible for everything that went wrong. So the least you can do is apologize. And the fact that you've apologized and Nathaniel has accepted it, you have to take it for that. And you have to try your best not to go back to who you were. They seem to be very happy. They have made up. They go to the dinner party together, but then in the car, Ella reveals that she's planning on telling everyone that she's trans. And I don't know why she just didn't tell the girls when she first met them, but hey, it is what it is. Peggy and George, I think the apology letter really worked because they seem to be in a very happy space. They're all cuddly, they're kissing, they're happy, they're ecstatic about moving in together. And it's like, oh, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. They're just like Laura and Arthur. It's just a matter of time before things fall apart. You have Tasha and Paul. Tasha and Paul obviously are the youngest. And I hope Paul is able to sort of contain his enthusiasm because they walked around the apartment, they were happy, and then he started jumping on the bed. I think he wanted to take the bed for a test drive, and he didn't realize that it was one of those beds with those sort of wooden panels underneath. So as soon as he jumped, he broke the bed, and it was a disaster. So I don't know whether they gave them a new bed or what was going to happen. The producers must have just gone, damn, you haven't been in the apartment for 5 minutes, you've already broken the bed. Hey, make it make sense. They seem very happy. They attended the dinner party together, and they were sort of, well, Paul was thinking that they would be the strongest couple because he feels they're doing very well. But I think Tasha was being a bit cynical because she said, well, there might be someone else who's way better than us. So we just don't want to assume that we're the best and we have the strongest connection. I think the couples with the strongest connection at the moment are Tasha and Paul and Jay and Luke. That's what I'm getting from what we've seen thus far. Shona and Brad, I don't remember seeing them as well. They seemed happy the last time we saw them, so hopefully everything goes according to plan. And then Portia and Terence. Portia and Terence, I think the thing is, Portia would benefit from someone who's more loving and empathetic and patient and compassionate. Someone like Paul, but Paul is way too young for her. The problem is Terence is 40, but he likes to behave like he's still a teenager. That's just my opinion. Because I think him calling her childish was unnecessary, really unnecessary, especially given the fact that they just had a disagreement. I think if they were joking and if the mood was a bit lighter, that would have made more sense if they'd known each other a bit longer. So when they get to their apartment, they start to have a conversation because Portia wants to sort of have this out with Terence and sort of iron out their differences before they move in together. But Terence is refusing to apologize. He told her, she's a drama queen, she's childish, and he refused to take it back. And when he refused to take it back and didn't seem willing to sort of have a conversation with her, Portia then decided she was going to move out and she wasn't going to move in with him. And also for the dinner party, she attended alone because obviously she's living in a separate living space from Terrace. So I don't know. Terrace keeps saying, I don't want the drama, but if you don't want the drama, then do better. So everybody arrives, for the dinner party, and obviously you're going to guess who came in single. But anyway, you have Jay and look, they were the first couple to arrive. They seemed very happy. Even the experts realized that they were doing very well. George and Peggy, I think, put a front on. I think they over exaggerated how happy they were because given the fact that they just had two massive arguments. So I don't know how they went from that to suddenly be all cuddly and kissy. Nathaniel and Ella, they came in together, were holding hands, but as soon as they walked in, they separated and they went to their individual camps. And, Ella was sort of moaning to the girls, oh, things, we had arguments, it was great. And it's just like, Ella, say you were the problem. Just say that. That's fine. Laura and Arthur seemed to be in a very good place. They were very happy to come in. Everybody was excited to see them. And then Portia arrived on her own, and everybody was taken aback because even the experts, they couldn't understand why she walked in alone. But hey, we all know they had a massive blowout, so she was going to always come in alone. Shona and Brad came in. Oh my God, the PDA. And I love you. I love you. It's like, do you understand the meaning of the word love, or are you just saying it just to make everybody else jealous? Make it make sense. I don't know. And then Terence arrived on his own. And when he arrived on his own, there was a lot of tension because the girls were sort of sitting with Portia trying to find out what was happening. So you had Laura, Peggy, and you had Shauna sitting with her. And they sort of didn't go to sort of greet Terence when he walked in, and everybody could tell something was not right. They tried to ask him what was wrong, but they couldn't get a clear answer. And then he was very messy because I think Terence enjoys the drama, even though he's making out he's not part of the drama, because he went and he greeted the other three girls and left Portia out. And it's like, make it make sense. Either you're happy to see her and you want something to do with her and her friends, or you're not. That's it. And then Roz and Thomas, oh my God, they were awkward as usual. They walked in together. I think they need work from the experts. Even the experts recognize something wasn't right. I think they need a lot of support. I think they need a lot of input. And once they get that, they should be up and going. But I think it's a matter of sort of getting them on the same page. They're struggling to get on the same page. Once they do, they'll be fine. It was very uncomfortable for us to see, Brad and Shauna all over each other when she is struggling. And then lastly was my favorites, Tasha and Paul. They were just happy to be there. They seemed very relaxed and they lightened the mood in the room. And, everybody was asking, what's going on? Are you two getting along? And Paul was quick to say, we're very compatible. So he really likes, Tasha, so that's good. And they were sort of asking, and they kept going on about these showers. Oh, we had a shower. And, every time Tasha has to say, we haven't had sex, because I don't think she wants his mom to know that, she's just given it to him on the first day. And so that was cute. He's so ecstatic. Paul is very ecstatic with his bride. And everyone else can tell. And it's very genuine. It's not like being put on the way Shauna and Brad are sort of over-exaggerating their connection and their feelings for one another. So we'll see how that plays out. The sitting arrangement for the dinner was always going to be awkward, given the fact of the tension between Terence and Portia. But it was interesting that they sat Laura and Arthur opposite Rose and Thomas, given the fact that Laura has this fascination with these, Mayfair guys, and, Thomas sounds posh and everything, but it was nice to see her encourage them to keep working at it, to keep working at their connection with Ross and see if they can grow it, because they still said they had a friendship and they were hoping it would blossom into something else. But then she made the comment that at least you can stand sitting next to each other, or at least you can stand seeing each other, which sort of got Portia in her feelings, and then she had to change positions and sort of sit away from Terence. And it was like, oh my God, why would you say that? That wasn't necessary. And then for Terence to, I know a lot of people are giving Portia a lot of slack for how she's behaved, but in my opinion, I haven't seen the clip of the drama at the dinner party. Obviously, I would assume there's going to be drama. But for Terence to stand up and come to her in front of everyone and say, "Can I have a conversation with you?" doesn't make sense to me. To me, it might make sense to other people, it made sense to the experts, it doesn't make sense to me, because they were in their apartment. She tried to talk to him, he wouldn't talk to her. She went to a different area, spent the night there, woke up the next morning. Why didn't he follow her there if he really wanted to talk to her? Even the morning before the dinner party, he could have spoken to her, but he decided to do it in front of, everybody. I think he likes the drama as much as he makes out that she likes the drama. I think the two of them are two peas in a pond, and they're going to milk this for as much as they can so that they get as much publicity as they can. Because I don't get why two grown-up people would be behaving the way they're behaving. So then Ella stands up to come out to everyone to let them know that she's trans. Do I think it was necessary? I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. Just because it's very difficult for me to take anything Laura does thus far as sincere, because she always seems to be after attention, if you get what I mean. Because she had issues with Nathan about this attention-seeking behavior, and yes, it's good that she's come out to everyone, but the fact that she stopped and sort of was teary, and I don't want to take away her emotion from her, but I think she likes the attention it's giving her. That's my opinion. Because if it wasn't for that, she would have told the girls before they got married that this was her situation, because obviously the girls would not have met Nathaniel. So she would have told them then, and then if needed, she would tell the guys when she saw them. But she didn't need to make such a big deal about it at a dinner party where everybody else is sort of meeting for the first time. I think she should have got to know everyone first, been comfortable with them, and then come out. The drama with Portia and Terence wasn't necessary, really, because everybody seemed to be having a great time, especially after Ella had come out and told everyone she was trans. But then Ella sort of moved away with one of the girls to have a conversation and see if she wanted to work on a connection with Terence to see if they could give it a go. Because Terence was telling the guys that he's done, that's it, that's the end of it. And it's like, if it's the end of it, what are you doing here? You shouldn't have come. And so he then, I think he felt guilty because everybody kept looking up to see what was going on with Portia. So he went across, and she, bottom line, she didn't feel it was necessary for him to come. As I said, I think he should have spoken to her. If he wanted to speak to her, he should have spoken to her before they came to the dinner party and reached some sort of a mutual agreement. So for them to try and have this conversation at such an event didn't make sense, because one, there was going to be the embarrassment, the humiliation, the feeling of, why are we in this situation? In the sense that Portia still feels, and she's now more aggrieved because he came across, he greeted her friends and didn't greet her. And it's like, the stuff they're arguing about is petty stuff, childish stuff. I don't get why they're having these disagreements unless they want to be the center of attention. Because now, if you go on Twitter, that's all everyone is talking about: Portia, Portia, Portia. I think, yes, like someone said, the disagreement was very minor, that they could have got over it. Even Jay, even look, I don't know why he answered, when she was complaining that why didn't he greet me when he came to greet the girls, sort of said you palmed him off, you ignored him, so what did you expect him to do? And it's like, she is just after attention at this point. I think she's after attention. I also think Terrace is wrong for how he's handled the situation, but I think Portia has decided to be the drama queen since she calls herself a 10, and she's going to get her as much attention as she can for the time she's there. Do I think they're going to go home at the first commitment ceremony? I don't say it. I think they're going to stand, they're going to milk this for as much as they can. And it's very sad that everybody else around the table feels awkward. And given that Terrence is the oldest person, you'd expect him to be a bit more mature in how he handles situation, but he's still behaving in petty ways. And it's like, that's not it. That's not it. The two of your disagreement started in the fact that you wanted her to stay up, and she didn't like the fact that you're clapping. This is where the disagreements clashed. And the experts knew better than to match two people, one who's a reborn sort of clubber who's stopped going out, and someone who's still out in them streets. They could have done better, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And please click on my previous review for episode 6. Bye guys.